Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My first guest literally has done it all in show business. I mean, you're one of those guys where you say that, but he really has.
Yeah.
I mean, from radio to TV, a little sitcom called Cheers. Remember that one?
Yeah.
A bunch of other things. The great Jay Thomas. What's up, Jay?
I'm good. Thank you very much. This is fun to be here. And, you know, to do a talk show and not be on blow is weird, but...
Is that something you would do a lot back in the day?
No, like last week. You guys that became addicts, you ruined it for all of us. It's a nice little drug. And...
Well, no, listen, if you could do it in moderation, I'm envious of you.
Well, listen to this lineup. I worked with Richard Dreyfuss. He had stopped doing drugs. Right?
He was a big drug guy?
Yeah. I worked with Peter O'Toole and read all about how he drinks.
He was not
sober.
Right.
Totally sober. I worked with Lindsay Lohan. She'd given up drugs and penis when I worked with her. Yeah.
The second one hurts the worst.
Well, yeah, she probably wouldn't have been interested in me anyway. Oh, daddy. So yeah, this is fun. You got the guys cooking over there. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. And the way you're dressed, you look like you're going to do, like, you know, Deadliest Catch after the show's over. I mean, somebody needs like a wardrobe sponsor. You know?
I don't look good in good clothes.
Yes, you would.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
If you tried to doll me up a little bit,
it's
as
easy.
People have tried. I look awkward almost.
There are certain people, dressers. Costume people.
Yeah.
And I have one.
You always look good, though.
But I get dressed by somebody.
Really?
I didn't always
You
look
have
good.
a stylist?
A woman, there's a guy that sells clothes in Brentwood, California, called, Attitude Adjustment Store or whatever.
And Brentwood, by the way, is the only place, one of the few places that
Yeah.
store could survive.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
It has a rich clientele like yourself.
And
who
then
go there.
we have friends that are, costumers. And my wife is like a stylist type of,
she is? Okay.
and an artist and all that. And my kids dress fantastic all the time.
Right.
So I said, well, just put outfits in the closet.
Yeah.
And she put them in, and I go in, I lift an outfit out, and I put it on.
You do. Whenever I see you, you're wearing some sort of designer.
Look at this.
Wow.
I mean, that's as gay as you can get.
It is, but you pull it off. It looks good on you.
I can catch the skinniest homosexual in a foot race with these on. I can just run them. That's why you have to have a shoe like this, so you can run them down.
I'd like to see that.
Wait, I'm not kidding. I really want you.
How often are you in New York? Yeah, you do your radio show from New Orleans most of the time. Right?
I do it from California, Santa Barbara, then New Orleans.
Is that where you live? Mostly?
I live mostly in Santa Barbara, yeah.
Yeah.
But I split it with New Orleans, and I have an office in Charlotte because I was a disc jockey there. And
no kidding.
So I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina for years too, and I'm
You're
there
all
all
over
the
the place.
I am, and then I'm here. I would say I'm here every 4 months, 3 or 4 months.
All right. You don't have a place here though.
No, that's stupid.
I think people who live in Santa Barbara, I find, are people who know how to live. Like they figured out how to live right. Like Dennis Miller's up
And
there.
the microphone
right?
is like really jammed in my.
Oh, keep it
No,
up.
I'm not
That's all
joking.
right.
It went right. I didn't know what it was.
Was your first guest a microphone?
Here's the some guy the other day said to me, he goes, "Hey, you're going to move back to New Orleans one day," because I go there and hang.
You're from New Orleans.
I am, and I have a home there and everything else. And I said, "No," I said, "You have to understand. I've been in Santa Barbara for 20 years, and this is what's terrible. It is truly paradise.
It really is.
From the moment you wake up,
I've worked there. Yeah.
to the moment you go to bed. And I lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, which was just the most awful people, and even the poor people were bad there.
There are poor people there?
There are a couple. They're electricians and plumbers and stuff. But and they own their own companies and make millions, and they're the poorest people of the town.
Right.
But Santa Barbara, people are pretty nice, and the weather thing is stupid. It's 70 and 50 every day.
It's hard to be in a bad mood.
It is very difficult, and it rains. We get about 4 inches of rain a year, tops.
Okay.
It is, and then the mountains are 5 minutes away. The ocean's right down the beach. You don't have to live at the beach.
No, I know. I did stand-up at the University of Santa Barbara, and I went to visit friends there once. Oh, my God, it was, just unbelievable.
And so I've always said and believe you're supposed to live like you're on vacation.
You should.
You meet people and they go, well, why do you live in Fargo, North Dakota? Well, my mother's here, my aunt is here. I go, Man, leave them.
Bye,
Leave them.
guys.
Yeah, and move to, and not, it doesn't have to be Santa Barbara. It can be
Right. Well, you need scratch to live in Santa Barbara.
Destin, Florida is
But
a
you're right.
beautiful place.
But you're right. Even
I lived there. I lived in Destin.
what part of Florida is that? By
That's
Miami?
the Panhandle. That's the
okay.
most beautiful beaches in the world.
Yeah.
I only live in a really comfortable place.
But doesn't that make sense? That really does make sense. Like, I'm getting older. I used to have that rebellious thing in my 20s. I had to go to L.A. to do a TV show when I was in my 20s. New York's a place to be if you're a comic, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of reasons to be in New York with show business. And it's a beautiful city compared to, it's not Fargo. But still, now I go to L.A. like I'm going tomorrow. And when I get there, I go outside and go, why did I ever not want to be here?
Now, I'm not an L.A. fan. I'll tell you why.
Well, it's got the a-holes in it.
No, the traffic.
And guess what? It's traffic full of a-holes.
But you can
Santa
stay.
Barbara doesn't have the traffic. Like
Nothing. It has nothing.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
We have a what do you call it? An amphitheater, a bowl, right?
Yeah.
The bowl holds 5,000 people.
Right.
Santa Barbara has probably 100,000 people. 5% of the town goes to the thing. We all walk there, and then we all walk home, and you see the biggest groups in the world will come through there. So you see everything.
To play, yeah. You don't have to leave.
You don't have to leave.
And now
Nothing.
you got an ISDN line set up in your house, and you do this
in an
show.
office down the street.
Office. Oh,
you don't
okay.
want to do a radio show from your house.
I was gonna say that's a little too convenient. Right?
No, your family doesn't think it's work. My kids would fight, and they would stand in front of the window of the little studio, and they would make.
So you tried it.
I'm broadcasting.
Right,
and then
right.
the spots come, and I go, "What are you doing?" Well, I go, I'm working, asshole. I'm working. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
You can't say that, but that's
that's all right. So, and then the wife sometime would bring garbage and stuff and point to it, like when you're finished, whatever you're doing. No, I'm not joking. No, I wish it was a joke.
No, you did really think, what are you doing? This isn't work. Meanwhile, you're getting paid a lot of money.
So
too.
then I got a little.
You're paying for the home you're in.
I got a little office about a block away,
That's
and
better.
I go down there. Yeah, it is much better. And I can put on the girls on the video and masturbate in my office. When you're broadcasting from home, you can't really, I know these guys, people that are really close to their wives and all that, and their husbands and their families. I've never understood that. My wife and my children are just for show. They always have been.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm crazy about them. They're nice people, but I don't want to be there all the time, nor do I want to do everything.
Well, let me tell you
with them.
something. I think that's a healthy marriage.
It is.
That's the key to a healthy marriage, not when they're just there for show.
Yeah, and if they didn't do well,
Right.
I mean this. There's no money, there's no praise, there's no nothing, and that doesn't bother me. And I'm being serious.
Right.
That does not bother me at all. If one of my kids is a disappointment, I go, look, you're a terrible disappointment. You are drugged out. You are a failure. You are whatever.
Yeah.
Not only are you not allowed back here, but I will meet someone about your age, and I will replace you with him. Now, I said that to my son Christmas about a year ago, and he looked at me and he goes, I have a feeling you're not kidding. And I said, I'm not, because you're acting crazy.
Right.
And, we have to have the pills and the doctors. And I said,
no kidding.
you're
Yeah.
embarrassing to me now. You're embarrassed. I know you have diseases or whatever they are. Or mental illness is not a disease. It's just stupidity. It's just... You're so dumb.
What they call
You can't be normal.
And you had that talk with them.
I did.
And
I
how'd
said,
that go?
I'm going to have to call the police, and they're going to take you to the hospital.
Right.
They'll let you out in 3 days, and then you're going to come back here. It's not going to happen. I can't do it. I am not going to finance my own misery. That's what I said.
So would you support them financially if they were out of the house?
No.
No.
No, you know what? I mean it. It's like, would your dad have taken any crap from you?
He probably would not have.
No, and it's hard.
He checked out early. He got out.
Then I have a middle son who came out of his room in the middle of all this and went, Dad, can I get you something to drink? And, the other one and I are like, we're going to call the police.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we also had to get all the knives and all the guns out of the house.
Then you had serious problems here.
Oh, he said, I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay.
Well, so what?
Well,
I said, just don't do it here and don't do it bloody. I don't want a lot of blood to clean up.
Would you worry about the note? Would you worry about
I would worry about all of that, yeah. But what's funny? It's like, it was very nerve-wracking, but I really couldn't wait for him to get out of there. I don't like a lot of, trouble.
So this is your first child?
No, my last.
Okay.
My last.
All right.
And I would say that to him. You caused me to get a vasectomy.
So maybe that's a good thing.
Well, I didn't even want to have kids, and I gave my first one up for adoption, and the little bastard comes back to me.
No kidding.
Yes,
when
he did.
When did that happen?
Oh, about 15 years ago.
So, okay.
Now, it's not like I give, clothes away to Goodwill and go back and get them. I give stuff away. It's meant to stay where I've given it.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
He's not keeping up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, he calls up, and they found me somehow, and I said, look,
They found you.
They found me. I said, listen, I don't know what your deal is, but did you have a nice life? And he said, yeah, my parents are great. And I said, well, that's wonderful. My father had diabetes, get your blood checked. And I'm not kidding. And,
yeah, they want some medical history.
Yeah, I give him a little medical history. Right. And he goes, I swear to God, he goes, you think I'm going to get diabetes? I said, no, I don't think so.
We can only hope.
So he says he wants to, well, I wouldn't tell him who I was. And he calls the biological.
You mean you wouldn't tell me you were famous, sort of?
No. He just called the phone number, and I was Joe Thunder. Hello, Joe Thunder.
Okay.
Can I help you, please?
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I said, I told the birth mother not to tell this guy and all that, and it scared her a little bit. She didn't know what and she's like, drunk, living in a trailer somewhere.
Oh, no kidding.
She could have been Mrs. J. Thomas.
Oh,
still.
man.
She could have been drunk and in a really nice house
She's
in Santa Barbara.
probably bitter as hell.
Well, I think if I had a drunk wife, I'd throw her out, too, or a drug addict wife.
Wait, let's take a break. I want to get more into this one because it sounds hilarious.
Well, wait a minute. He's a big deal now, the kid.
What does he do?
He's huge. My illegitimate son.
What does he do?
I'll tell you when we come back from the.
That is a great
When
tease.
I say huge, I mean like really, really big. Huge.
Oh, okay. I can't wait. I can't wait for this. Okay, back into this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.